apologize to you personally about that. So.
What'd you do?
Man, Infinity. Do I need to explain more?
Oh, never mind.
You did a great job, Promise. No need to apologize.
No apology. Oh, man. Do we have any thoughts and feelings on this 5-hour magic minute that Jeffries is doing right now to stop this big, ugly-ass bill?
I love how Jeffries is like, and if we pass this bill, suffer. I'm like, yo, son, give him a good 15 minutes to get one sentence out.
And he normally, and like, he's known for speaking fast and in rhythm, right? Like, that's hilarious.
That's a genius tactic.
Oh no! I woke up and he was like, I have more stories from 50 other states about how this bill is going to hurt Americans, and I guess we'll just go right through it. I was like, God.
Yeah, we sat here for like 10 minutes listening to a speech he gave, and he only gave one story. And I swear that story had to be maybe 5 sentences in one paragraph. But I get it, bruh.
Guess he don't know what to say.
Yeah. He knows what to say.
He knows what to say. He's just trying to put these motherfuckers on hold so they can think about what they about to do.
Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing too is that I think MSNBC was asking, like, he's literally asking the senators, what did you promise? What did you get promised? You know, or how did you get strong armed to change your vote? You know, at this point, because I think last night they had 5 no's to shoot that bill down, and now all of a sudden they have all the votes to the go. I mean, shit, bro. I just saw right now where Trump's taking a victory lap talking about this is going to be the beautifulest country ever, and I'm just like, bro, you an embarrassment to this entire nation, my guy. Like, I don't even know how to go anymore with this.
So let's do a comparison to him and Buchanan. Oh damn, what's his name left?
Marshall. Let
me go ahead and do this damn Gronk Buchanan versus Trump. Who's the worst? Because I know in one poll they have him as number 45 behind Buchanan. Oh, no. Yeah, number 45 behind Buchanan. And in the CNN, they got him at number 41. I think it's 41, something like that, as the worst president. But I swear this dude has to be 45. But I got to do a Gronk, or y'all call it GP chat, or whatever else. I'm not paying fucking $200 a month for GP chat. I'll go ahead and use the free Google or fucking Gronk real quick. But let me go ahead and do this search and do a comparison, because this motherfucker is trash. I get it, Buchanan was crooked. He freaking, they say prolonged the Civil War, yeah, whatever. Or not prolonged it, he forced the Civil War and all this other shit, but Trump is trash, dude.
I think the part that makes it 80 times worse is just the open corruption at this point. I mean, at least if there was corruption before, you know, most governors, presidents, senators, whatever, what have you, had at least the moral tenacity to try to hide that shit. This man is out here buying Bitcoin right now like it's Brewster's Millions, and so other people can pay this shit, and we're just supposed to be like, well, that's our American. And then I think I saw one TikToker, I want to give her credit for it. She's like, you should just change from breaking news to look what this motherfucker did now. Like, and it would just save us so much time, you know, because breaking news is like completely broken. Yeah. So,
It sounds like a money laundering scheme. You're right.
It is money laundering.
And any other president would have the common decency.
No, there's no money laundering, Walter. We've gone past money laundering. This is complete. We're watching the president get bribed in real time, right? When you launder money, you take ill-gotten gains and then you wash and facilitate like his bullshit ass hotels or casinos.
Bitcoin.
Right? But no, now with Bitcoin and the rest of the way this shit's set up, he's literally just taking money now.
Well, that's
like he's just
right. No,
he's not
my point. Well, I was just gonna say it is. I agree with everything you just said. It's embezzlement. It's money laundering. It's all of the above. But specifically, we've never seen money laundering done with the actual currency. Here's something you can actually leverage the U.S. dollar against. It's extremely disgusting, Victoria. It's the most unacceptable behavior I've ever seen with our money by any president. The fact that he would even entertain the notion of a Chuck E. Cheese coin. Just put all your money here, and then all he needs to do is have the owner give him the actual U.S. dollars in the back door. Now it's all washed, and I can give it to the Senate seats and all this shit. So it has a cap. It has an expiration date.
Well, I think the thing, the clear case cut that I always want to throw in is the Snoop Dogg inauguration. And the reason I say that is Snoop Dogg got paid in money, but more importantly, he got paid in crypto. Then, basically, use the colloquial term, niggas went nuts over that shit and bought that and drove. That very night, they crashed that crypto and pulled out.
Wow.
So at a point of we're just watching fraudulent
pyramid
yeah,
scheme.
Exactly. But let's not be confused with his goddamn perfume that he's selling a couple of days ago for $200 to smell like his musky, dusky ass. So it's just, if you didn't look like a fucking walking QVC before, you definitely look like one fucking now. It's just embarrassing at this point. You got that whore Kristi Noem running around here, which is not killing people's dogs, up here assaulting our actual senators.
So I did do a search on Grok about the Trump meme coin. Because I remember reading something about something with possible money laundering. And it says a Solana-based token allegedly found DJT appeared online. Rumors swirled that Trump's son Barron was involved in launching it. Everybody's tracking it now. Trump didn't publicly endorse it initially, but his campaign eventually confirmed ties to the crypto venture. The concerns that were raised was the token's launch was surrounded by anonymity, pump and dump fears, and speculation of insider trading. Critics, including blockchain analysts, warned it looked like a scam coin using Trump's brand for profit. If Trump and his family were involved behind the scenes and profiting without disclosure, it will raise SEC and fraud concerns. However, as now there is no confirmed evidence, but there is murky behavior. Then they actually added Taj Mahal. The key facts behind the Taj Mahal fencing: U.S. Treasury fined Taj Mahal $10 million in 2015 for willful and repeated violations of Bank Secrecy Act. The casino failed to report suspicious financial activity, including transactions that could be linked to money laundering. These included large cash transactions, suspicious patrons, poor anti-money laundering practices, and the fine came after Trump no longer ran the casino, but many violations began during his leadership. Fenton's statement: Trump Taj Mahal has a long history of repeated BSA violations dating back to 2003. So while Trump was not personally charged, the business he founded and ran for years facilitated money laundering behaviors through negligence or willful ignorance. So yeah, he's been money laundering.
Actually, if I could just jump in just real quick, because ProPublica did do a whole thing. I forgot, Trump Inc. Was the podcast, and they literally talked about how the Gaming Board Commission, and I'm glad that you brought that up. The Gaming Board Commission did cite and put violations onto both the Trump's casinos, because what they would do is they would take money, because when you put money into it, like you'd buy, like, let's say you buy like 1,000 chips, I'm just keeping it around, right? You can then basically walk to another casino and then wash those same chips, right? If it's over a certain amount, you have to have it reported. I think, what is it, like $10,000? Well, what the Trump casinos would do is they would just take the mob's money. The mob would go to like Circus or whatever casino, buy said chips, go to the Trump Motel or Trump casinos, and then wash those chips without reporting it. And at first it was, and that's how he picked up. What was the first attorney that he threw in the nut? Was it Cohen? That's how he picked up Cohen. Right. Because Cohen he handled the New York mobs. And then, you know, as his zeal for money gotten bigger and bigger, right? That's how they ended up basically starting working with the Russians. Because he would rush the Russians' ill-gotten gains. That's why Russia used to have all those banks. And they had to close down all those banks except for Deutsche Bank. But more importantly, I mean, there was even a famous quote by Donald Trump Jr. saying that if we ever needed money, we could just always ask the Russians. That's where a lot of that came from. So he started off with, and it's funny because you did speak about pump and dump. As far as I'm concerned, like, and I have Unc on the stage here, crypto is going to be the biggest pump and dump I think that we've ever seen in recorded history at this point. Literally at this point. Because you have literally world leaders buying into crypto up to the sum to, I think the Saudis was $2 billion. They put into that man's crypto that we just watched him to say, hey, thanks for buying into my crypto. And then all it is just a matter of time before they pull that shit out. And then that becomes worthless. But more importantly, people are literally just, you know, putting their hard-earned, scraping their little pennies, putting that shit together to try to get into crypto. And it's just, at one point, someone's going to pull the rug out.
But Thomas, make a delineation between tokens and crypto, because there's a huge delineation. Because there's crypto that actually there's some coins that have use case, and those are very different than what you're referring to, the pump and dumps. Those are very different. Like, for instance, the WLFI, those are governance tokens. They actually, those WLFI holders only receive voting rights on protocol upgrades and like partnerships and things of that. They're non-transferable. That's where you know it's a pump and dump. WLFI, y'all know who that is, World Liberty Financial. That's Trump's company that Steve Witkoff's son, Zach Witkoff, is the head of, and Steve Witkoff is the emissary that negotiated a lot of the Middle East deals. That's who Trump sends out, who was not elected, but represents him because they go back in the real estate world. And those pump and dumps are non-transferable. They can't be traded, they can't be sold, they only serve as a tool for participation. Okay? That's a pump and dump because it has no use case. There's no, you can't even trade it or sell it. It's not transferable. It's simply to buy it as a participation tool, and then just to say, hey, Trump has a coin, let's buy one. Bam. You can't trade it, you can't sell it, you can't do anything with it. It's just participation. That's a pump and dump because it has no value. People participating in it actually skyrockets the value. They don't pull the money out of the value of the crypto. They go get a loan for that because of the valuation. Then it tanks. And it's a loan, it's not taxable. They keep the money. That's how that works. So there's a huge difference. Like the USD1, the stable coin, is fiat backed. It's a 1-to-1 on the US dollar, backed by the short-term treasuries. So that's a different. The stable coin is different. That's usable across DeFi integration like Ethereum and all of those different blockchain. It can be used, and it has a use case. So make that delineation between the two.
Thank you for
That's
that.
that's why they're investigating now. I mean, who was that? Senator Warren and Merkley actually formally requested records of World Liberty Financial. They requested that because they want the records to see whether that $2 billion deal involving MGX fund and Binance by the UAE, and what was that, the 22nd? They bought another 100 million. UAE bought another 100 million of Trump's coin, literally. So that's just flat out. It's not dark money anymore. It's light money, because they're just funneling money into his pockets with a token that has no use case whatsoever. In May 2025, that Senate resolution, I don't know, is like 230, 243, something like that. They condemned WLFI ties to Donald Trump and foreign people. That's what they did. And they're literally actively. Now there's no public open investigation. There's no public open investigation. But they have requested a Senate investigation over ethics and, like Patty said, for funding and regulatory oversight. They're doing that. The SEC has been asked by Warren and Merkley to produce those documents. So it's an issue. It's out there. They're looking into it, but how far it goes, who only knows? But yeah,
Yeah, that was one of the things that we were talking about earlier, was just the fact that with Trump, the corruption it's visible from space at this point. And one of the things that I wish we talked more about was the fact that Stephen Miller has personal stock into a lot of these prisons that are being built to house these immigrants that are being picked up off the street that are cutting our grass. So that's just one part of it, as they better enrich themselves, because it's at this point, it's not even trying to build the American dollar, right? It's about building crypto. And I think, what was it? It was Keish that asked, what happens when this all crashes? Well, the people that pulled out when the price was high, and then everybody else, just like in the Snoop Dogg reference, is left holding the bag. And that money's never going to come back. That stock is never going to go anywhere, and it's just a fugazi. But thank you for explaining the difference, because, to tell you the truth, anything with crypto, for me, or tokens, one of the things that always stuck in my mind is that if any small country, like let's say in Kazakhstan, decides that they want to go ahead and regulate it, it depreciates like a fucking rock. Like, you have a better chance of buying, like, I don't know, a Ford fucking Focus brand new off the lot, and understanding the depreciation of that when you drive it off the lot and try to sell it. At least it's something tangible. But this crypto, I've seen people make money on it, and I've seen a lot more people lose it. And the fact that you have this con artist in chief up here trying to buy Bitcoin for, what is it? It's like $2 billion at this point. Speaks volumes on where this administration's heading for this fucking country.
Well, let me answer Kish's question in the chat, which is really pertinent. Understand the difference between a stable coin, mint coin like this Trump coin, and Bitcoin. It is different than the US dollar. The reason why is because there's a limited amount. Imagine what'll happen if the government says, we're taking up all of the cash on the planet, and we're only going to print $2 million worth of currency. Say if they decided to do that, would that currency be more or less valuable the longer it exists? It's going to increase in value because there is no more. That's the reason why it's going to... Well, Emperor, let me finish my statement and then you can come and rebut it, bro.
Wait. What are we talking about?
I just wanted to answer the question in the chat because Kish asked the question. She said, what if they dump everything? And I just wanted to highlight that there's a finite amount of Bitcoin. There is not a finite amount of Trump's token. He can mint those till the cows come home. And stable coins, there's no finite amount. It's just like the American dollar. They can print an unlimited amount of cash. And the fact that there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, only ever, there will be no more. That actually, even if a country decides to dump it and say, hey, we don't want it, we're not gonna recognize this currency anymore. It's like a diamond. A diamond, there's a limited amount. Well, I don't know whether there's a limited amount of diamonds, but the fact that they're hard to get, and the more difficult they are to get, the more value they have. Just like a car. A rare car, because they don't make it anymore, increases in value because they don't make it anymore. It's like anything else. The Picassos have never dropped in value because people don't want to buy it. There's never going to be any more. And Bitcoin was created on the same premise that there's a limited amount, there won't ever be any more, and that ensures its value as opposed to stable coins. That's all I wanted to say. I hope that answers your question.
No, that was wrong. In economics, restricted supply does not guarantee price level stability in relation to any other commodity like US dollars. So I have no idea. Like, restricted supply of anything does not guarantee price level stability in relation to another commodity.
I never said guarantee. I said it was based on that premise. That's what I said.
The premise is wrong.
Okay, Philip. I mean, you can have your opinion. I can have mine.
No, explain what. So explain why the premise is wrong, because it's not about opinion. We gotta know the facts on this, yeah. So explain why GA or Emperor.
No, he said it's wrong. I disagree with
Okay.
him.
So Emperor, explain why I'm not calling you Emperor.
Okay,
Philip.
so I'm gonna make a handmade, I don't know. I'm gonna sign my name 6 times and I'm never gonna sign anything else. Does that automatically set some type of a demand for my signature? Does it command automatically some type of a price? Doesn't. There is no market for it. Correct?
But Philip, you can't equate that to Bitcoin because it's actually being used as currency. Your signature will never be used as currency.
Okay, so here we go. Now you can explain and how. See, the restrictedness doesn't matter. The use matters. The demand matters, right? So you agree with me?
No, I don't agree with you because your analogy is not a like to like. It's not oranges to oranges.
He's not talking about the analogy anymore. He's asking you.
Yeah. Well, my point is that the demand plus the fact that there's not going to be any more made.
Now that's a better
That's
statement.
what the premise was built on.
Now that it's a better statement. You didn't mention demand before.
Well, I mean, that goes without saying because people are using
Why
it. But
does it go without saying? I'm sorry, how much confident you are that demand is always going to be there in relation to conversion to dollar to somehow guarantee that restricted supply would command higher prices? Where is that confidence from?
Well, let me explain it this way. One, there is a demand to obfuscate and take the power of finance. There was always be a demand for decentralized finance, always, because of the fact that in every single country, well, not in every single country, a lot of countries, a lot of the civilized world, there is a discontent that the government actually has control of the currency. They manipulate inflation, they manipulate the markets, and they do that all by the way they control the fiat currency. So the initial premise of creating crypto in the first place was decentralized finance, to take the banks out of the equation, to take the government out of the equation, to take the federal treasury out of the equation. That was the premise. So I'm saying, in my personal opinion, I don't think the demand to actually, the desire to operate outside of the grubby hands of the government will never go away. I don't think it will. I think there will always be people that say, hey, I want a way to pay my friend over here in another country without the government actually controlling how much this is worth. I think that desire will always exist. And that's just a personal opinion.
Okay, that's a better, more clarifying statement. At least we heard demand, because the previous statement was, anyway, you corrected it. Thank you.
Okay, I'm lost. But
I don't want to go into the whole government controlling fiat. I'm doing it.
go ahead, Dr. JD, because you can explain it.
So I'll just make it real quick. So I think Philip's objection was that the previous speaker, I wasn't looking and I couldn't identify the voice, said that the thing that made these things valuable was that there wasn't very many of them. And Philip's point was, no, it's not solely the number of them that is available, but it's that the supply, the number available, is less than the number of people who want it. So the previous statement missed the demand side, that the thing is valuable because people want it. You could have 6 of something, but if nobody wants it, it's worth $1. But if I, create this thing and somebody really famous invests in it, and then I die and there's only 5 of them, then the thing becomes valuable because now that person has created a demand, has attached a demand value to it. So that's what Philip was saying. When the previous speaker qualified the demand, it made the statement more accurate. That's all.
See, that's why you a professor, Dr. AJ. Go, girl. Because I was like, what the fuck is going on with this conversation? Oh, Jesus Christ. And I said, Jesus Christ.
So, to sum things up, Trump is a criminal. He's using crypto to get paid by governments. Apparently, there is a difference between crypto and tokens. And Patty, thanks for your service. And that's all I got. I gotta get to work.
Bye, Tommy.
Oh, wait. I have a question, because I did want to ask you. Did you happen to see a clip of Trump's birthday party? Of the soldiers walking not in unistep and looking soft. Okay. No, my question was this though, right? Was that an was that a Foxtrot Delta Jacob? All right, fine.
Hey, nephew, I thought you had a question that you wanted to ask me real quick.
I did, but I got lost in the sauce on this one.
Okay.
So.
Me too.
We'll catch up later.
Sometimes
oh, no, that's what
you're talking, and I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense.
Oh, okay, I remember now. Nebraska remember we were talking about Nebraska, I think the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
Apparently the banks aren't foreclosing on the houses yet.
Oh, they aren't. Interesting.
No. They're calling, they're like, yeah, they're like, call me, run me my money, and they're like, they just like, but apparently it would depreciate the value so hard that they're not foreclosing. I think I saw that. Yeah, so I was just a little tidbit update on that one. All right, I think that's all I got. All right, talk to you guys later.
Hey, nephew, don't leave your crypto hanging around. California just passed a law that if you leave a crypto account dormant for 3 years, the state can take control of it.
Bro, I got Spanish blooms buried in my backyard. Going back to 1772. It's pirates at this point. I'm about to go back to the barter and trade system in a minute once this big, ugly ass, dumb ass bill passes.
Okay, Johnny Depp.
Let me tell you what's so funny. Last night they were talking about in another room about this big beautiful bill, and some farmer was in the room and brought up what is it called? I know in New York, my mom used to do it. Oh fuck! Is it CSP?
CSA?
CSA, yeah.
Yeah, wake it up, Pat.
So my mom used to do this shit, but the one in New York was weird. So like, she would get a box,
Baldy.
and they give you like whatever.
Oh no, not the old shit. Was it the old shit?
So okay, I'm old. So
No. I mean like it was like the produce kind of expiring, like discounted. Was it like?
no. It wasn't old.
Okay.
It was like say for example, it was like I'll give you an example. So let's say it was sweet potatoes. I'm just giving you some bullshit. Sweet potatoes, celery, and carrots, right? And we may get X amount of pounds of celery, and it'd be a lot. And we don't even fucking eat celery, so my mom would be like, yeah, this is gonna be in your lunch box when you go to school. Because that was the seasonal vegetable. And it wasn't like she could just choose. It was like whatever the farmer said in that box, because you had a subscription or whatever it is. And she had to pick it up from a local area. If we had a whole bunch of celery and maybe only 10 potatoes, it is what it is, and that was supposed to be it. So they were talking about that, right? Like, oh yeah, they do this and that. I was like, yo, that shit sucked for me as a kid, like, because you didn't get to choose. And my mom made it a thing where you were gonna eat that shit. And supposedly it is cheaper, but you have to buy it, and they only did it like once a month. So they, like, if your income can't just pay for that whole month of freaking, some people buy groceries every week. Your income can't pay for that month of freaking, CSA subscription, then you're still going to have to shop at the local grocery store. So, like, one of the guys, when I brought that up, he said, yeah, I looked into that about a year ago, and he said his CSA subscription, which he could choose from the seasonal vegetables, so I guess now you can choose. Even when you can choose from the seasonal vegetables, it's about $1,000 or $800 to $1,000 a month. And I was like, what the? Yes.
What?
And he said, but he lives in Colorado.
Oh, even so, that's egregious. I ain't never heard of anything.
Right.
Wow.
Man, I can get Fresh Express cheaper than that. What they doing?
Yeah. And then you think about, I mean, maybe they get in a delivery every week, Patty, right? Because that's the option with the CSA. You can do it once a month, every other week, or if you got it like that, every week if you like got fresh produce right there at your door. Maybe even more frequent.
It might be easier in California because of New York does have a lot of farmland too,
But you're right. No, that does make sense. If it is seasonal, you're right. It's gonna cost more. For like a New York. But I mean, that's the whole point. It's CSA. It should ideally, right? The format should look like it's your local farmer offering this to you, or like a small group of local farmers offering this to you.
Yeah, it's a group. For New York, it was like a group. So it's like whatever that group produces during that season is what you get. And it's like, for us, it was like, what do we got this month? Fuck, it's more carrots. Like, you just be like, pissed off with shit that you get more of. But yeah, it was weird. But my mom did it because we were like not rich, and it was, for her, it was cheaper to just pay that bill. And
Smart.
just,
I thought about, I almost bought a microgreen CSA recently in Napa. They wanted $15.5 for it. Really good deal. She already had all the clientele of restaurants, so like the chef would text her on Wednesday, because microgreens, they grow in like 7 days. It's just sprouting your little seeds. It's that garnish that goes on all your expensive dishes. But it's really nutrient dense. So like the chefs hit them up, text her on Wednesday, hey, I need this. So she'll have it like, you know, dialed in and everything like clockwork. But she would also do the CSA deliveries to cafes, and then she had another option for farmers markets. It's real easy to make a lot of money doing this with microgreens if anybody's interested. You should look into that.
I don't even know that. But yeah, somebody brought it up last night in another room, and I was like, oh my god. I didn't even comment. I was like, let me stay on mute after this, because like, I know what it looked like for me as a kid. It wasn't the best choices. But then when someone said you can choose, I was like, oh, you can choose now. But then someone also brought up that in Colorado it can cost anywhere from $800 to $1,000 a month, and I was like, shit. And it is seasonal, because it is the local farmers and what they have. So.
The cool thing with microgreens is you could do that in an apartment year round. Y'all should look into this. I'll put a link in the chat.
Yeah, not for me. I can kill plastic plants, so I can kill a plastic plant. So.
I'm sure there's someone around you with the green thumb, though. I'm telling you, man, microgreens. Money. That is print money.
Like Giuliani was a very strong mayor. De Blasio, not so much. I mean, he has a lot of access to the budget. They have a lot of power over real estate back, behind the scenes.
You don't think he ruined New York?
De Blasio?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I think he did for sure.
He turned New York into
You saw the videos from California?
Which
But,
videos?
That hookers running the Beverly Hills streets like there is no tomorrow.
No, I don't think I saw them.
I'll send you a few of them.
The hookers?
The hookers, yeah, past the street. It's coming to New York, it's coming back to Times Square and all that shit.
Actually, I don't, correct me, Norm. Did it ever leave New York, or did it move down to the village?
It left the street. It wasn't in the street. Yeah, New York got a lot better under Giuliani and Bloomberg.
But then one day I went to the village, and I'm like, what the fuck is going down here? It was like, horrible. It reminded me of the 42nd Street days, back in the day.
You saw hookers?
I saw everything. And then also after COVID, one of my girlfriends called me up and she's like, the city looks like it did back then. Like it looks like it did when we were growing up. She's like, I'm walking outside and it's all heroin heads. She's like, people are sitting there with needles in their arms like it was in the 70s and 80s. She's like, I'm nervous to go outside. And that changed, but that was when nobody was on the streets, except for, I guess, the homeless and heroin. Homeless.
Not that bad. but it's worse than it was.
Yeah, it's not like de Blasio messed it up.
Yeah, Adams tightened it up a little bit. He hired back some of the police. You know, he's enforcing some more of the laws that de Blasio let go. Now, de Blasio was pretty much a disaster. It's really disappointing. I mean, it seems like almost deliberate corruption. We'll see. There's a lot of powerful people in New York. We'll see
Yeah, we will see.
what the response is to this guy.
Do you think a lot of people actually came out to vote when he won? No, it's not.
A lot of people did not.
Okay.
Now, the word is that it's actually more than usually show up in a primary. And that number was about 700,000, or 22% of the people who are registered to vote, who usually do vote. People don't show up in primaries very much. Everybody assumed it was going to be Cuomo.
And how do we know they don't cheat?
Well,
How do we stop them from cheating?
You don't know that something isn't happening. If you have an idea that something is happening, then you need evidence that it's happening.
Yeah, but the first time when Trump lost, I had so much evidence.
What did Trump lose?
I had like three stories of evidence, but, what'd you say?
What did he lose? When did he lose?
Yeah.
2020?
Yeah. There were a bunch of evidence for real people who had
I can't hear you. It might be my fault. This might be this one area of my house I don't have a signal.
and she voted. No,
No, it's her connection.
I think it's making here now.
Yeah, here in the Matrix.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Is that any better?
Yeah.
No.
I'm not.
So, Norm, you here?
Yeah.
So there was one situation where my friend is a Republican, and she voted on election day, and she followed when it registered, and it registered two weeks after election day. And then somebody in my family who's a Democrat got 3 ballots, one and one in her address in her maiden name.
Yeah. I mean, there's a system that if there's a duplicate, it's automatically triggered electronically.
Unless you close your eyes to it, no?
Right?
Or turn off that glitch while you're up those elections, who knows?
I don't make stuff up because it doesn't help to understand. So if it either happens or it doesn't, if you have evidence of it, then you can see if it's happening. If not, then there's no point in making stuff up.
Amy,
Va buena, está lì.
Minnesota.
A lot of people.
Can't hear you.
Say it slowly. And then
Fix your freaking internet, J-Lo. I think she's driving. You're
I'm driving.
You drive with that.
טוב, מה, הוא שומע רגע?
שומע בו.
דיברתי עם דן, אולי נסיים עוד שתי חברות לקפריסין.
הופה, מתי?
כן, אמצע או סוף יולי.
עכשיו, יאללה, נו.
אמצע.
יש מלונות ודברים, כאילו...
אמרתי, נדבר איתו.
קצת עמוס עכשיו הקפריסין, לא?
כן, אבל לא נטוס לאירופה, לא יודע. במצב של עכשיו.
קפריסין זה לא כזה אירופה, זה ממש פה ליד או ליד ישראל.
בדיוק, בגלל זה אני אומרת, לא רוצה עכשיו אירופה.
לא, אבל אני אומר, תבדקו שבאמת יש מלונות שכיוונו סתם על זה, ואין מלונות בכל מלא.
אמרתי לדן שאני מדבר איתו.
יאללה, סופר, נו, למה לא? זהו, בשביל זה עצרת אותם?
כן.
טוב מאוד. כן, דיבור...
מה נעשה, אחי?
דיבור שטויות, וג'יילו בלי אינטרנט, שזה הכי מעצבן. והמטומטם הזה מדבר ומגן על המפלגה שלו.
למה אתם נותנים לזה יד? לא רוצים לשמוע את זה, אומרים עברית בלבד, רוצים לדבר אנגלית, תפתחו חדר, לכו לג'ף.
לא היה פה אף אחד. רק הם...
אני יצאתי כי הם דיברו באנגלית, זה לא מעניין אותי.
איפה חנה? זה לא לעבוד?
לא יודעת, היא אמרה לפני שעה שהיא עוד חצי שעה יוצאת.
נו. חצי שעת אובססיבית, למה אתה מטרדה אותה?
לא נעים לי, זה יותר מדי.
היא אובססיבית אמיתית, לא אובססיבית אמיתית. לא, אתה יודע, אובססיבית, אבל נותנת לה לישון. היא לא כאילו מציקה לה כל היום.
היא תחסום אותי, אני מפחדת.
חנה בעולם לא תחסום אותה. אלא אם תבגדי בה כמו אורלם.
לא חס וחלילה. אבל עברנו שלב, אתה יודע למה?
למה?
היא התחילה לכתוב לי בשפת אם שלה. כנראה מרגישה בנוח.
יודעת שזה לא השפת אם שלה.
בסדר. כן, הבנת את הכוונה. שפת האם כאילו שפת האמא שלה.
שפת האמא שלה זה אוקראינית, לא רוסית.
אבל היא... רוב האוקראינים לא באמת יודעים אוקראינית, הם מדברים רוסית.
טוב שהם יודעים.
בסדר.
הם מבינים רוסית. דלית מאור, אל תשאלי אותי.
טוב, כי היא מורידה הכל.
לגבי מה? זה תלוי איזה דור. אני חושב שהדור של ההורים של חנה לא ידעו אוקראינית. הרוסים לא נתנו להם לדבר בשפה שלהם, רק ברוסים. הם שלטו עליהם כמה? 70-80 שנה? גם מי שממש זקנים, והדור הצעיר שעכשיו כאילו רוצה, אתה יודע, פטריוטיות אוקראינית, אז מחיים את השפה מחדש. אבל אתה יודע, זה לא שונה בהרבה. זה לא שונה בהרבה. זה סתם בראש שלהם, זה שזה שונה. זה אומרים חרב וזה אומרים גט. לא, זה לא. ממש לא. זה כמו סורית ומצרית. זה השוואה יותר מדויקת. סורית ומצרית.
אפילו כל השפות הסלאביה זה אותו דבר, לא סתם
לא בדיוק, אבל דומה, כן. כאילו נגיד שפות של יוגוסלביה, זה הכל סרבית, זה רומנית, זה בולגרית, זה לא, וגם
לי סלאבית, אבל זה לא. זה לא דומה בכלל. צ'כית, כל זה מאוד דומה לנו, להם זה נורא שונה. אבל אוקראינית זה כמעט אחד לאחד. גם זה אותם אנשים, אתה יודע, הם לא שונים בהרבה.
מה ההבדל בין זונה רוסיה לזונה אוקראינית?
מחיר, הרוסיות עולות יותר.
והכל.
יש את המולדוביאניות שהם הכי כאילו... הם הבראה של הבראה, הם באוקראינה הם זונות. מולדובה זו מדינה אחרת. זה דומה, לנו זה יראה אותו דבר.
אוקיי, אני אשאל שאלה באנגלית. שימו טוב לב לשאלה. What's the difference between a drug dealer and a prostitute?
Good, what is it?
Give a chance to Maho and leave.
Okay. Mahor, what's the difference?
מה ההבדל בין סוחר סמים לזונה?
In English.
שהוא סוחר סמים ואותה סוחרים.
לא יודע, נו.
A prostitute can wash her crack. And reuse it.
wash their מה?
Wash her crack.
Crack.
Her crack.
crack?
Yeah.
Crack. And reuse it.
הבנת
אתה
או לא?
מתכוון, סוחר סמים של קראק, אוקיי, חשבתי כאילו באופן כללי סוחר סמים, אוקיי.
סוחר סמים הוא לא, בשום מקרה הוא לא יכול לשטוף את החומר שלו.
בסדר, קראק זה חומר ספציפי שמוכרים אותו בעיקר בארצות הברית, בארץ אין את זה. אני האסוציאציה שלי שמוכר סמים זה, אתה יודע, הרואין וקוק.
וואו. עכשיו סיפרתי לך על החברה שאנחנו עושים לה מסיבה בגילה, כי היא עובדת לחו"ל.
כן.
הבת זונה עברה אתמול לקנדה לחצי שנה.
בת 1000. אני לא הודיע לכם? ולא עשיתם מסיבה?
כוסו.
והתארגנתם על כסף, אלכוהול וזה, לא?
לא, בסוף לא עשינו לו כלום.
שלום סבל.
אחי, היא לא אנגלית,
היא עוברת לאן? לקנדה?
באיזה פוטנציאל יכל להיות לי?
היא עוברת לקנדה?
עברה לקנדה אתמול.
לאן לקנדה? זה מסוכן עכשיו. זה סוכן לעבור לקנדה.
חכה רגע.
Her friend.
She went to the
חבור, אתה יכול להתפגן שלחתי לך את המיקום. עכשיו היא העלתה לסטורי מיקום שכאילו רשום קנדה, אבל היא העלתה את זה עם K, לא עם C. שתבין את הרמה של האנגלית.
שלחת איפה?
באינסטגרם.
אז תצייני שזה, כי אין לי נוטיפיקיישן של האינסטגרם.
אוקיי, סליחה.
רק שאומרים לי, כאילו, מה? לשם, באמת?
כן.
בסדר, אז שם אין לו באנטישמי. אבל זה חור תחת.
אבל תראה איך רשום קנדה עם K.
אני רשם את זה, למה רשמו את זה ככה?
שתבין.
אבל המקום הזה זה שממה, אתה יודע, זה אמצע של מקום.
איזה בית יפה יש לה, תקשיב.
כן, אבל זהו, אי אפשר לצאת מהבית. זה רק הבית, ותצאת עם האוטו לקניון, וגם הוא מתחת לאדמה מחומם. הכל שם קרח כל זמן. שלג.
לא יודעת, היא אמרה לי שהולכת כאילו לעבוד במסיבות נגיד, אז היא הולכת להיות בדוכנים.
היא עברה לבד או עם המשפחה?
עם הבן זוג שלה,
בת כמה
אבל
היא?
הוא חוזר 18.
רגע, היא לא הולכת לצבא?
הוא הולך חצי שנה.
אז היא נסעה לקנדה לחצי שנה לעבוד.
כן.
חשבתי שהיא עברה לקנדה.
לא, אני אגיד לך מה. היא עושה בייביסיטר לאיזה ילד, והמשפחה מאוד קרובים אליהם, כאילו למשפחה שלה. אז הם אמרו לה, היינו רוצה להמשיך לעשות לה בייביסיטר בחו"ל, כי הם עושים רילוקיישן. אז היא הסכימה, וכאילו היא עושה גם בייביסיטר, וגם עכשיו הולכת לעבוד בפארקים, כל החמה.
יופי, אחלה שתעשה כסף לנו.
כן.
הזונה.
כן, ליטרלי. סורו.
אפשר לחיות בי?
אחרי מה רשמתי.
הנה היא עונה, רגע. היא כותבת לאט.
איזה מעניין.
יאללה, היא כותבת לאט.
לא, לא ממש.
או שהיא כותבת הרבה.
הרבה סלע.
אהוב חיי לקייטנה, אז עוד איזה שעה.
אמא לתפארת, לא יעזור לאף אחד.
זה יפה שהיא רוצה עוד ילדים.
היא מתה לעוד ילדים, לא רוצה.
אז מה הבעיה שלה? תראה, זה גם
למצוא את האחד המתאים, מה זה? לא רוצה לגדל אותם לבד.
חשב שהיא רוצה רק ילד, כאילו בלי...
לא, היא רוצה ילדים, לא ילד. היא רוצה עוד איזה 4-5.
זהו. אני כן מוכן לתרום זה.
אשכרה, זה רעמלק. עוד זרע של צמחוני, איכס. הורדת לי את כל האוויר ממנו, שאמרת לי שהוא צמחוני.
פסקטרי, זה כמעט צמחוני, זה חצי כזה. חצי כוח צמחוני. הוא לא טבעוני לפחות, אתה יודע, אלה הכי קשים. הוא כשהכרנו אותו היה, אתה יודע, על הגבול. לא הייתי קורא לזה שמאלני, אבל הוא היה על הגבול.
אתה יודע שזה חלק מהצמחונות והטבעונות, זה יהירות, כאילו התנסות מעל אחרים.
זה המקומות שהוא מסתובב בהם. הוא הולך, אתה יודע, לכל הפסטיבלים של האיפים, שניטים, כל האלה, מה אתה חושב שנמצא שם תנועת בית"ר? לא יודע, בן גביר, הוא לא, אתה יודע, זה בחורות כאלה, עם שערות בצ'ט כאלה. זה בדרך כלל שמאלניות. זה הסביבה שהוא מסתובב, אתה יודע, הוא לא יכול, בוא נגיד שהוא לא עובר חופשי את הדעות שלו שם. לא, עכשיו, זה לא רק המקומות האלה, גם איפה שהוא גר. תסתכל איפה שהוא גר. זה רק שמאלנים גרים שם, אין אחד ימני באזור הזה. המרכז זה הצנטרום של הפיילה של תל אביב.
וואלה. אזור כיכר המדינה וכאלה?
לא, זה לכיוון הים. אותו קו, אבל הים. לכיוון הים.
דיסני גובריה?
כן, צפון הישר. בוא נגיד שאין שם ימנים. ואם יש זה מאוד מאוד מינורי. מה?
ברגעים של עצב, גלגל לך עצב.
זה המשפטי סבא כאלה של זה, צ'אט שיפוטי. זה של סקווירט? צודק, ככה גם אני חשבתי שזה זה.
כאילו איזה חולה.
כן, זה אחד, זה הכי חולה.
פאק.
זה מיכל. לדעתי היא צילמה את עצמה ו...
לא. Yeah.
היי חווה.
Hi guys.
היי, how are you?
I'm good. Excited. I have a question actually. What is your opinion maybe? Why did BB only go to Neomos today for the first time since October 7th?
What is the question? Why is the first time or why he's
Yeah.
going there?
No. I know
Why
why.
the first time?
Why only now?
It's
It feels like that my empathize. I just lost one of my parents, and he lost his mom. You know, so I can
Want to just buy more fakes because like it is pissed off. Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly.
supportive of their dad, but I'm pretty sure they know that their dad isn't perfect. I mean, they've seen him be Cassie, and I'm sure, we were just like wondering what type of conversation that Vinny is having with his kids. Because it all can't be like, oh, the government is out to get me type shit. There has to be, in my mind, some accountability for his very, public act.
Yeah. So I do got a video and it's talking about the verdict. It is a long video. It is from CBS News and it's about an hour long. If y'all want to play this, we can play this like 5-10 minute increments.
I don't know about that. That's long.
Yeah.
Hey, Patty.
Yes.
Patty, before you do that, can I just say this? Because it's about Manfinity, before y'all change the subject. So last night I came into the room late, and I just wanted you guys to be aware. I came in late. When I came in, he was already talking and into the frustration, I guess, of the conversation that was going on. And so Mel, even after you left, you know how he was whining before you left. He continued to do that, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I happened to look down in this chat. And, before that, Scotty addressed him, called him basically despicable. That was probably the worst word he used, but he talked about Manfinity and how he plays, and the things he's saying, and he's saying, thank you, Jesus, and, even though he was not religious himself, he kind of went there with Manfinity. So
I said
Manfinity started in the chat. He started to call Scotty a bitch in the chat, and then he started to. Scotty wasn't here very long, but he was going in the chat on Ramona. He was calling her bitches and fat and stuff. So just so you guys know, I kicked his ass out.
Oh, okay.
Because I was deleting him at first. But he continued to do it. I didn't say anything to him. I didn't even open my mouth and say anything to him, but I kicked him out. I did not block him, but I kicked him out the room because it was not necessary for him to go in on her, calling her bitches. So I kicked him out. Just wanted y'all to know, because he's gonna come here whining today, and if he does and I'm in the room, I have no problem telling him that it was me, but I did that. He probably think it's Haitian, and so.
But I was deleting his messages in the chat, and he kept doing the shit over and over and over and over again.
I was too. I was deleting them too. We both were, and he just kept doing it. He was mad that Scotty put it, he called him out.
Yep.
But just wanted you to know. Wanted y'all to know it was me. Deborah,
just in case you got a new nickname
in the chat.
I have him blocked.
I have him blocked forever, and him and Anthony, they blocked forever. So
Thank
I
you,
don't know.
Ms. Deborah.
Yeah.
Ms. Deborah, thank you. And also, yeah, to be clear, my only statement was, look, I'm not a Christian, but we had two Christians on stage who were citing gospel, or or citing the Bible and the verses and things like that. And I was mentioning to him that it is an affront on Christianity and the people that I know that are good Christians who care about people, migrants, whatever, that you use Christianity in a way that is despicable. And even your sign off when you say thank you Jesus is an affront to Jesus himself and everybody that purports to love Jesus and love his teachings, and it's disgusting. So I called him out.
Yeah, I mean, when I was talking to him, I think I probably was the first person just in that particular conversation to bring up the Bible verse, a biblical concept, right? And I said to him, because he kept being like, what if I'm struggling? I'm struggling. I'm trying to overcome, my vices or whatever. And I said, well, we all have choice, And I said, man, Finity, as a man thinketh, so is he. That's what the Bible says. And he was like, what? I said, as a man thinketh, so is he. He was like, wait, where'd you get that from? I was like, the Bible? And he literally was like, can you repeat that? Like, y'all, that is such a basic.
He has never studied. He has never studied.
I mean, and so I think Thomas or somebody, I don't know.
F
grade, put the actual, because it's like a longer sentence, but it's just like, that is basic biblical knowledge. And he was just like, wait, what is that? What is it again? Because I don't know it. I know some of y'all little biblical things y'all be saying, but I don't know. I'm not familiar. What was it again?
Yeah, that's a regular book that the guy is also.
Yeah.
The man thinking.
What is it that
it's a regular what?
It's a regular book, like a life book. As a man thinking.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I mean, for sure. Like, I mean, literally, I was thrown off when he was like, what was that? Can you repeat that? And I was like, what, as a man thinking? Like,
yes, as a man thinking, so is he. So is
I'm
he.
like, even
But one last thing that he did also, which I thought was wrong,
Proverbs 23:7.
Wait, Patty, are you serious?
No, I'm dead ass. I've never heard of it.
Oh, okay, but still, you ain't on here professing how Christian you are, you know what I'm saying, and trying to preach to other people, you know what I mean?
I went to Catholic church, or Catholic school, yeah, and I had to go to church on Wednesdays with them. But
one last thing he did that was out of line, guys, was he was going back and forth with Thomas, too. That's who he was really mad at.
Yeah, Thomas was not letting him speak. He was on
But what Manfredi did was he started saying, now I see why Lisa don't like your ass. Lisa wasn't in the room, right? And so I thought, that wasn't right. And he just kept saying it over and over. Now I see why she don't like your ass. And then don't nobody like you, Lisa and nobody else. And all of that together. But it was, the final straw was the bitches to Ramona.
Yeah, because Ramona wasn't even on stage when I left.
That's crazy. She wasn't.
That to her.
She wasn't.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Manfinity, like a typical so-called conservative Christian, I'm pretty sure that he has a porn addiction. And he's also clearly a misogynist. And so, he likes women, likes sex, but he hates women and can't get sex. And therefore, that's his conundrum. God bless.
Wait, so y'all really think he's into cartoon porn? That's what Patience said. What's it called?
Yo, he was the one who said that night. Mel, were you there that night when he was doing that fucking game that night?
He was talking about the furry.
Furry porn.
Yes. And that motherfucker trying to say that I was making that up. I didn't know what the fuck that was.
That is hysterical.
That was the first time I heard it too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He clearly has a porn addiction. Clearly. Which y'all I know y'all, I'm sure y'all know this, that during the Republican conventions and stuff like that, like the
Grindr.
the prostitution rate and stuff like that is sky high, and also that
gay one, the gay website.
and gay, and that porn is the highest. The sites, they have the highest rates of watching porn come from the conservative states.
Wow. Yeah, because everybody hates them and they ain't getting
Yeah, I mean, people, they're hypocrites on every single level. And it's like, if you didn't hate women so much, maybe we would want to date you, but we don't. And he had the nerve to, I guess I get it. I guess you could see yourself as a degenerate, just like Diddy, certainly. But, I think it's his narcissism that, like in some ways thinks that he's Diddy. And it's just like, oh boy, just go sit down. Just be quiet. We really don't care. I mean, fight your fight, but you're on this app preaching to everybody, like you're on this app, telling everybody how you're so righteous and you're following God's word, and that's why you're following Trump and so on and so forth. I mean, come on.
And he should really use the word evangelical. He is not a Christian, and they are not the same. So he needs to stop that shit.
Challenge.
He's a white evangelical nationalist, is what he is.
Exactly.
In blackface.
And he wondering why he can't find the answers for his life. And Mel called him out. He tried to pretend last night, y'all, that he was light-skinned. He tried to pretend that the PTR in his picture.
Yeah, the one with the waves and the cross haircut on the side. Did you guys see it? I said, he's all, that's me. I said, that ain't true, bro. You a liar. That's a light-skinned dude. You
showed us your picture. You showed us your picture, remember? Because you went to the...
He was like, now I showed you a pinky. I said, no, you showed us both of your hands. You had your hands like that, folded in front of you. Like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. We was like, you dark-skinned, brother. Like, why you mad? How you gonna be mad? You gonna be trying to pretend that now you're light-skinned. Oh, my God.
Because he wants to be white.
He does.
A cowboy and a Christian ain't the same thing. Somebody I tell.
Tell him, Water, when he come in here, you tell him.
Oh, hell no. On that conversation, I got that.
If I tell him, he's just going to leave. Because I can't stand him. I don't have him blocked. I don't even have Anthony blocked no more. I used to have Anthony blocked. And I probably will block him again. I unblocked him because Lisa liked to have him in his spaces. But when he was in her spaces, I couldn't stay.
I feel it. I'm still that way. Y'all do such a good job moderating, but even so, it's like you can only go. There's no making sense of insanity, and a lot of times, man, like those conversations just devolve into insanity, and I get it. Like. Some people are shy. It's hard for them to make new friends. So I want to hold space for everybody. That being said, not at the expense of my sanity.
At least if we having these dudes on the hook, she'd be like, Manny, you guys don't block Manny. And then she'd be like, Thuggy, where's my Thuggy? I'm just like
a rescue.
Falling for
like it's a cowboy rescue. What the hell?
And then she clearly expresses different values than they do. So I'm just like, y'all clearly don't understand, like when you're being psychologically toyed with. But yeah. So I don't know if y'all know Dante. But if you don't, just ignore this. But I went to a room. I didn't know it was a room I had been in before, but I never knew that Dante was a top left person, but he was top left, and so it was about Diddy. And
yeah, he opened up that room because you know the room I told you to go into where Albert was at.
Whatever.
Yes,
room
yesterday.
I went.
Right. So Dante was in that room, but they didn't let him speak, and that's when he said, "Fuck y'all, I'm gonna go open up my own motherfucking room and hustle." So that's why he went and opened up that Diddy room.
Okay, all right. Well, I wound up there, and all these people defending Diddy, so I'm writing in the chat, I'm trolling them. I'm not even ripping on them, I'm just putting facts in. They're calling Cassie all types of hoes and so on and so forth. So I'm just stating the facts, and he's furious, like he was like, he started like he didn't want to acknowledge that he was speaking to me at first, and he was like, like if you write in the chat, you could just come up on stage and say what you got to say, he's like, look, I ain't scared of nobody, I ain't afraid to debate nobody, and he sent me the link, he invited me to speak, but I didn't come up, right? So I just kept writing in the chat, and he got more and more furious, and then finally he was like, yeah, so Dr. Goddess, you in the chat, why don't you come and debate me? He's like, why don't you come up and debate me? Like, you got so much to say in the chat. And so I wrote him and I said, you want me to come up and speak to you? Sure. And I said, I could come up. So, I came up. I got like 5 different invitations. So I came up. And he was like, so, what's your problem with Diddy? Like, what's the issue here? Like, why you been so mad at him? Like, what's going on? And I said, well, I don't like it. I said, I've seen what he's done over the years. And I said, and this for me is not so much just about this case. I said, Diddy is a terrible person. He belonged in jail a long time ago. And I said, and y'all keep talking about, because he has children and he has loved ones. And I said, what about all the black lives that he ruined along the way here? What black lives? What you mean? So I started with Craig back, and they wanted to go down and be like, no, he signed a contract. It ain't Diddy's responsibility to help him. I said, it actually is. Like that's his argument. He's like, but he got paid, he got a check. I said, and if he got sick, it's Diddy's responsibility to help him. And I said, then, if you're going to just go around and be just like the so-called exploitative white man in the industry, then don't come out and say how you're a black leader, this is all about love, and, you want to be there for people. Moved on to Mace, they were like, and like a lot of the people, this is what I'm realizing, y'all, I'm like, okay, I am a little older, but I ain't that old, okay?
All right, now, y'all said y'all don't want to talk about Diddy.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have to talk about it.
We talk about Diddy and some other people on Clubhouse. If we don't talk about Diddy, we can go back.
I was just going to say, it'd be faster to name the people he actually helped.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. But anyway, it's just, it's just toxic. And long story short, the other thing I want to say, this is about Diddy, but that Wack came in. They pinged in Wack, thinking that because Wack knows these artists and he signs contracts that he was going to talk to me, but he actually didn't. He was just talking about the different contracts. But one thing that was revealed is that this guy JP, he's from Wisconsin.
Are we going to talk about Diddy or are we going to talk about something else? Because y'all still going back to Diddy.
No, this is
I'm
Diddy. No, this isn't Diddy. This isn't Diddy. No, I just want to tell y'all. No, I just want to tell you about this exchange. This is not Diddy. It's just that
but I don't like talking about Wack either, because he'll start coming in your room with the dumb shit. Yeah, because he came in ADHD's room the other day just because somebody brought up his name. Like, I don't do that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't play with these type of people.
Yeah, no, I agree, because I mean...
Let's stay in the room. Y'all want to address them, address them. Take him in and then have that conversation with him. But
Yeah, no, I know he was already there. I ain't even want to talk to him then, so no, I'm good. You know, if anybody wants to know, we can do a private room.
if you want to do a conversation about how great he is, go ahead, do that. But I ain't gonna talk down on nobody in here unless they in here.
That's fair.
Not that type of motherfucker. Hey, Brooklyn, how you doing, babe?
Hey.
Where Brooklyn at? What'd you say yesterday, man?
When I was looking for Brooklyn. Hey, man. Oh, man.
I did find an article about what's going on with the U.S. and Israeli strikes and what the nuclear experts are saying. So, like, Iran could become more dangerous now. Before it was, like, the uranium enrichment. A lot of experts were saying they were doing it because the U.S. was on some bullshit, playing with their money. Now they're talking about their suspicions that now they're going to try to, like, fix their nuclear facilities, maybe build private ones, and try to get access to a damn weapon. Because y'all keep playing on E-Top.
I heard North Korea gave them some tanks or something recently. I can't remember.
Could have, because they have to have the warhead and they have to have a vehicle to launch it from, whether it's a plane, a truck, something. They have to have something to launch it from. So, I do have a clip. It's like 2 minutes long, and they're talking about this. It's from ABC, it's ABC News, yeah. We're going to music mode.
And what evidence are they talking about here when they're referring to the impact of the strikes and new information? Okay, and there's no doubt that these bombs caused considerable damage. What we're learning now is that there were 12 of these massive ordnance penetrators that were essentially dropped right over ventilation shafts of this massive Fordo facility inside of Iran. This is a nuclear facility. They say it did considerable damage. We are told by sources that this DIA report has confirmed that considerable damage was caused at this site. But the question really here is whether or not it hit the enriched uranium that's at the heart of the Iran's nuclear program, and whether or not some of it was moved out in advance. So what we heard today was Pete Hegseth saying, look, I haven't seen anything that suggests we didn't hit exactly what we needed to, and you can look at these images and see the damage there. They're not going to be operating out of this facility anytime soon. Now, when the question went to General Kane on this, who is of course, the president's top military advisor, he said, look, BDA is not my business. This is battle damage assessment. We're not going to grade our own homework. We're going to leave that up to the intelligence community to decide exactly where Iran's nuclear program stands. But he said there was no doubt this was a military success, Diane. And we're also now hearing from Iran's supreme leader for the first time in weeks, and he's declaring victory, saying Iran delivered a heavy slap to America's face. What do you make of that, and what does that mean for possible talks with the U.S.?
Yeah, I mean, I think on one level, no great surprise in what Ali Khamenei had to say. As you say, he declared victory over Israel. He said we delivered a blow to America, referring to the strike in Qatar at the Al Udeid air base, claiming that the missiles had landed there when obviously they hadn't, claiming that Israel would never have managed to survive intact unless America had come to its aid. I mean, this is all about the domestic audience. I think what's really interesting is he has exactly the same background, this brown curtain in this video message, as he's had in previous messages. It's not an appearance in public. Is it proof of life? Because there's been speculation as to whether or not he is alive. I guess so, because it was clearly recorded after the ceasefire, after the attack in Al Udeid. But is it proof that he's come above ground, out of hiding? Absolutely not. Was it live? No. When was it recorded? We don't know. So I think it leaves many questions there. I think the messaging, like I say, is entirely predictable from Iran's supreme leader, and we're getting reports of a crackdown on dissent inside Iran. At least 3 executions of late, dozens of people arrested. our teams speaking to Iranians inside the country. They're very scared to talk, but those who are talking about an atmosphere of fear as the regime cracks down, as it tries to reassert its control. So no surprises in the statement. I think they've got problems at home. How significant? We'll have to wait and see.
And what's the next step in assessing how successful these strikes were, and how critical is that assessment to our national security? Yeah, I think you're going to hear from other agencies. They're going to be producing their own classified reports. I mean, the Energy Department, NSA, CIA, they're all going to have a say in this, and they're going to try to coordinate their intelligence, and eventually we'll get some sort of declassified statement from the intelligence community that says this is where we think the Iranian program stands. Now, I think it's very likely that this attack could have very well set back Iran's nuclear ambitions by years and not months, because that was a very early assessment that we were reporting on. But I think all of this just pulls into question this, this idea of the president coming to the cameras very early on in this and declaring total victory, saying that these targets had been obliterated. That's of course not a military term. So when you get into the nuance of this, there could be more to it, and all of this matters because of course nobody wants a nuclear-armed Iran, at least not Western powers or the U.S. That's what's at stake here. That's what we're hoping to learn in the months to come. And Ian, part of what's complicating this too is Iran's level of cooperation or lack thereof with nuclear inspectors. Where does that stand now?
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't forget that the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is this UN nuclear watchdog, hasn't been able to get access to the sites. I've been speaking to Israeli officials, nor have they. And interestingly, most Israeli officials are echoing what you're hearing from the Pentagon. Some are saying perhaps it's months, but most feel it's probably years. One senior military official said to me, anyone who's saying that it's been totally wiped out is probably wrong. Anyone who's saying that it wasn't a successful mission is probably wrong, but we won't know for a considerable period of time. But we've just had this vote in the Iranian parliament, which is not binding because this is an authoritarian theocracy and only the supreme leader gets to decide. But nevertheless, this vote is to withdraw cooperation with the IAEA. Again, it's hard to know, going back to Ali Khamenei's speech, how much of this is flag waving and how much of it is true intent. I think withdrawing cooperation, any suggestion they've stored some enriched uranium, that may be starting up their nuclear program again, the Israelis and the Americans have been very clear that will be unacceptable, and it's hard to imagine that Iran hasn't heard that message.
All right, and clarity and panel, thank you both.
No, it feels like a lot of fluff. Nobody was really telling us what's happening over there today. That's what I like to do, is ask ChatGPT, hey, how many people died today in Israel, and why? These are things we don't want to see the images. The things we should be doing at least.
Well, right now Iran isn't letting anyone in, no independent body, to verify the status of this program. It says here in this article, Iran is still evaluating whether it will stay in the NPT. They said on Iranian state TV following the vote by Parliament last week. They pretty much said that they are evaluating where they're going to stay. The NPT also requires inspections by IAEA to verify compliance with the treaty, so it remains unclear how Iran will comply with this aspect of the treaty given the new law. Whether or not Iran will stay in the NPT needs to be investigated according to Argachi, who said that Iran will act accordingly with the interests of the country.
Hey, quick question. How much do you pay for rent in Canada?
So me and my roommate actually split $3,200 for a 2-bed, 2-bath, and I
Connecticut, father from New Jersey.
So right now, there's experts that saying it.
What was that, Betty? He growling and shit.
Yeah, and a dog outside the door, but if I open the door, his ass will stay in the house. The punk. That's the kind of dog I got.
What kind of dog is it?
Let me bring Gemini up. So, I think he left. Oh, no, he's
teacups. You know, they're louder than their fucking body.
A Pomeranian? A teacup Pomeranian?
Yorkie.
Oh, Yorkie. Oh, yeah, they bad. They be about that business.
That Doral sounded like he was on business, right?
Yeah, I thought he was a pit bull for a second. Like, what the hell?
If I walk him outside and a dog start barking, he be looking at me like I'm not moving.
Yeah, like pick me up.
I'm not gonna pee, I'm not gonna shit, I ain't doing a damn thing. But then as soon as you get in the house, right, because my neighbor got a dog, that dog will be barking. As soon as he get in the house, he'll be standing at the door with the door closed, barking and shit. But you get his ass outside near that gate, that mug be like, what's going on here? Have you lost your damn mind, that dog bed?
My dogs be trying to fight each other. They be trying to fight other dogs so bad. It's terrible. I can't.
That's that dominance, take battle for dominance.
They know one be trying to tell the other one to chill out, and they just get to fight. And then bullies fighting is crazy. Like, my cousin got shih tzus and go crazy when they start fighting, but when bullies fight, that's like violent.
Well, you got bullies?
Yeah, I got a American bully and a pit bull.
I should have known. That fits your personality.
Of course. And you breed them, don't you? Because I want one. I want one.
No, I got 21.
Gemini, Kiki, haha, where were you yesterday?
I was chasing people around the app to owe me money.
Yeah, we was looking for you. We was like, where's Gemini?
I was literally chasing people around the app.
He was collecting.
Gemini was getting attacked.
Hey, Hey, Patty, I stand in the paint. I don't need no bean. I will stand in the paint and bang flying. I'm used to that. I'm good with that.
Did y'all talk about the big funky bill?
Yeah, unless you got go ahead, babe. Talk about it.
No, I just heard that they had made some modifications and sent it back today, last night, and they said something about it was like a few Republicans that was voting against it last night, and then this morning they changed to yes.
Yeah, all but one.
Yes.
All the others changed to yes. So last night, it was 5 no's and 8 no votes. By this morning, it's 1 no, and that's it. Fitzpatrick's the only one that held it down. And Hakeem Jeffries has been talking 6 hours now. And the slowest fucking voice ever. Like the dog.
Is he doing that thing that whatchamacallit did? Not the filibuster, but like
no, he's just trying to prolong the, he's trying to prolong.
Gotcha.
This shit
Yeah, he just he didn't want him to do it in the middle of the night. He wanted everybody to be awake.
Yeah,
makes sense.
That's funny, he talking slow on purpose.
This nigga's funny as shit.
A similar story. An inheritance from our parents and our grandparents, all of us have that kind of story to tell. Why am I so thankful that my parents
tough personal decision, but of course the right decision. It's because what that union membership actually meant to my journey and my younger brother's journey. 1973, my younger brother was born with a serious heart condition. He's okay right now. He's doing well. Right now, he continues to say on social media that he's our mother's favorite son. Let me say from the house floor, no, you are not. I think she favors both of us. The younger brother in 1973, he's born with a serious heart condition.
Yeah, he was super slow this morning. It was like, and I want to speak on a single mother from New Jersey.
What they do when they gotta use the bathroom? I'd be wondering that.
Probably has a sack on the side of his leg.
Because they be standing up there. They be up there all night long. I'd be wondering, like, what y'all wearing Pampers or something? What the hell going on?
I said that he needs to Clubhouse and become a moderator, because that nigga can talk.
Cory Booker said that he dehydrated himself for several days. I mean, he went through a whole procedure when he did his.
He did what now? He was dehydrated?
He dehydrated himself so he wouldn't have to pee.
That is crazy.
But he did like certain things in person. Yeah.
Wow.
He said, yeah, it is dangerous. That's why he was able to beat that record. But he didn't have a diaper, he didn't have a bag, none of that.
I would
dehydrated himself.
A diaper would make more sense now. Golly.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? Yeah, and he kind of had a lot of energy because he was doing interviews at the end and all sorts of stuff. So
I'm saying, but what if you got a shit? What if you got a shit? People don't shit no more.
He fasted and his body, fasted his body and didn't eat or drink, in order to prepare for all of that stuff. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Brooklyn, you already know all politicians is full of shit.
But still, I think Jeffrey has to do something because a lot of people are angry at Jeffries. Like, I feel like a lot of people feel like he's out of touch because he's talking about the Mandami. He's like, I don't know who he is. So he refused to endorse Mandami. I don't know if there's any conversation about him in a sit down or whatever with Mandami, but it doesn't seem like any sort of willingness to cooperate. I mean, he is the Democratic candidate. I mean, at least I would think maybe one of the most powerful Democrats in the state of New York would want to sit down with the potential, mayor of New York. And y'all are both in the same party, although vastly different takes on Israel, right? Well, honestly, like, you would think you want the best for New York City, right? And I don't know if I necessarily want my New York City politicians having a policy about Israel.
Well, the Jewish community is very prevalent in New York City, so I'm sure they're gonna have some kind of policy or something, they're gonna feel some kind of way about Israel.
I always heard that. Is it that many Jewish community in New York like that?
When I was at school, we got Jewish holidays off of that's why I tell people I'm part Jewish too, cause shit.
Right.
That's not even the only holiday.
Right, BK. It's part of your culture. That's for real.
It's the second largest population of Jews outside of Israel.
Damn.
It's in New York City, yeah.
Yeah, I always heard that. I just didn't know if it was true.
And Jews get a lot of their culture from us.
Yeah, I got a lot of. Who was us? Water. I need you to stop. So I was about to say.
You from California?
I be trying to make sure because he be ussing on certain things. Yeah.
Yo, Brooklyn wildin'. Hey, Brooklyn, I had to think about it. Like yesterday, I'm getting called lame by a pro Diddy prostitute and a nigga that live in his No, but I'm not making this up, Patty. She
I know you talking about. I was in there. I got on my goddamn nerves. But let me go ahead and go on you.
Yeah, I'm getting called lame by a pro Diddy prostitute.
What are you talking about, Lance?
Yeah, of course. You already know what I'm talking about.
When you was in there and you heard that conversation.
Yeah, I did.
And fucking Bullet Scotty's lying ass. We made I was looking through our replays trying to find that room in here. I don't know how to find the room. Like
we don't do replays in here. We don't record them.
I know this. That's what I was like, fuck, because the more I look, I couldn't find it.
It wasn't our room. You did it in, from what Mel said, it was done in that wood.
No. He only did 2 at the wood. I don't know what else he had out there. I don't know what else bets you have in other houses.
I won my bets in the wood. They solid. They paid up.
Yeah.
It's Bullet.
That's what I'm saying. You did another one somewhere else. I don't know about those other ones.
It was either Lisa's or politically correct. It was one of the two. I don't know which one.
It was probably 420 because he be going over there. He don't really come over here.
Because he blocked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hate them.
And you know, she be going to her rooms, but
I want him to drown in a fucking puddle of piss. I swear to God.
Gemini, that girl that changed her thing at the last minute and then she wanted to go against you. She paid you? Euros. Give me my money in euros.
Her crazy ass. She paid yesterday.
Why
you at the last minute? That was weird.
Last minute, she want to be like, I'm like, she's like, you sure you want to go against me? You want to go against me?
Right? Like, do you just want to give me money? Like, what are you
$100.
For what?
That my bet was that Diddy would be found guilty of one or some of the charges. They were that he would be either not guilty or hung jury.
Yeah. Okay.
That was light work.
I know you was worried at first, Gemini, when they kept saying not guilty.
Yeah, when they kept
guilty.
2 through 5. Remember we had the 2 through 5 room?
Yeah.
I knew it was lit. I knew some of them had to be guilty charges.
Yeah, but you know what? The one he got charged guilty for, I didn't see that one.
The transportation?
Yeah, transportation of Cassie and
trafficking, you mean?
lady. That's not. I don't think he trafficked them.
No, he got not guilty for the trafficking.
He got found guilty for
presentation of prostitution.
Prostitutes, and the prostitutes is Cassie and
Cassie and
Jane.
Cassie and Jane.
Daphne.
That's the one thing I did not think he would get. That I thought they would see through the.
I didn't think he was gonna get anything on Jane. I thought he was gonna get the 2 on Cassie.
I didn't think on Cassie because Cassie. Because Cassie had a love for him, even though it was more like a Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, but I felt like just by the video they were gonna go to do the 2 charges for Cassie.
Yeah, but they can't use the video as.
No, I know, but I'm saying that's what they were gonna go as a.
I think the reason why they gave him any time at all is because of the video, and they wanted the justice for Cassie. So
right,
they basically made her a prostitute.
I don't think that video should have been justification. There was too many other things. Like the RICO charge it was a charge that should have been held.
Once I heard, my feed was coming through. You remember when you heard me off the mic, and you guys was like, "No, it's airing now," because my feed was already giving all the counts, and then you guys had a delay on your feed.
Right.
So once I heard RICO not guilty, and then it went guilty, and then it went not guilty. I'm like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna be real.
But the
Like,
captain,
y'all know I'm
that wasn't a. I honestly, these are clubhouse. Those were clubhouse verdicts, dude. Like,
Yeah, I knew Rico was gonna be not guilty. Just because they didn't figure this shit out yesterday and they want to come back talking about they slept on it, and 45 minutes into today's court they know where they're going. Yeah, that's not guilty.
Hey, I already knew what type of time they was on yesterday when I went modded, because I'm usually modded in there. So I already knew it was about to be a banging day because we
Who?
In Lou Sachs, so they didn't give him the green bean. He already knew that he was about to.
Yeah, you know that prostitute, she got a nerve to say.
He was about to swing his life.
No, bitch, I was here when he started the room. You knew, huh?
Facts.
I've been with Lou Fax since he fucking was getting cussed out by her, motherfucker.
That's funny as shit.
Gemini, is Ari always so hardcore in Plan B?
You did have that in Plan B too?
Well, I'm going.
Yeah, Ari is like that. That's how she is. She talk like that. She like that.
Very interesting.
Who is this person?
Ari.
And she like what
the one that was reading the transcripts for Plan B.
She like what people would deem as the typical New Yorker, you know, the loud and feisty. I like Ari too, but they
a lot of people don't like her though.
Then they meet people like me and be like, yeah, I thought New Yorkers was crazy.
No, Ari cool too. She just gets irate when she gets tired of the bullshit.
Yeah, Ari cool. I fuck with her. We started off kinda, you know what I'm saying, but I fuck with her though.
Yeah, her and Miracle going at it.
So
Mira is kinda annoying to me. What happened?
What's her name? Mira?
Mir,
M-I-R.
The problem with New Yorkers is like we can be really, really friendly, but then like when we're stern about a conversation, it's like you're being a bitch. So sometimes I'll be like, yo, I'm just like explaining something, like where you at with this? Like if I say, yo, so what's next? Like just move around. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying move around.
I am.
But you know, New Yorkers don't like that. Like it's like we don't want to, like we're done. Like I don't feel like talking to you about it. If I don't feel like talking to you about it, I don't care. Like you can talk to everybody else, just don't talk to me.
Whatchamacallit? Lux is a hard pill to swallow. She alright.
No, me and Lux is usually cool. She just be mad, like, y'all know how I am.
She just do too much.
This shit and want to pro women type shit, like, that's the way I rock. What's weird about her, she really don't be, like, she don't...
She's pro-prostitute.
She's a misogynist.
Prostitutes, and I'm not, so we don't bang on that.
Not pro-prostitutes. Like, she on some other shit now. It's one thing to be pro-prostitute.
Or is she pro-sex work better? Is that word better?
No, that's not the issue.
She's
She
only
is a
pro-sex work when
misogynist.
it comes to her.
She's a misogynist.
Okay. When it comes to her getting money, she's pro, and then everybody else, she's...
No. She's definitely pro-ho, but she's anti-wife. So it's like, you know, the girlies that are more like,
But then you talk shit about other prostitutes. Like, that's where I'm confused.
Because she's a misogynist. She doesn't really like women.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you what else I'm confused. Like, how you a prostitute, but you're on the app 24/7? Like, when you got a dick in your mouth? Like, how did that work?
Oh my God, Gemini, the night before, that's what they were telling her. Like, yo, how you making money? But you on this, how you do, how?
Right, like, how does that work?
People be fucking on that, so I don't know.
She said, y'all better stop.
No, but she's off the mat. She's off her mic. And we muted up.
She said she's high class. She don't need a whole lot of people.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I'm just playing.
She did say that. Like, she said
she's with like an 83-year-old man.
I am crying.
Yeah, she's with the white man that was charged for sex trafficking.
Yeah, that's what she said. She did.
Yeah,
and
sure.
if
Yes.
that's smart. If you're gonna do a prostitute thing, I guess that'd be the smart way to do it.
He is so ugly. He look like he's a white man, so he looked like he had like so many surgeries on his face. Damn, what's his name? Peter?
Peter
Nigel.
Yes. Yes. Google Peter Nigel on Google, doctor, so you can see this.
Oh my God! How do you know? When did she say it?
She said it.
She said it.
Oh my God!
Oh my God, he looks like, I'm trying to think who he looks like. He looks like Bruce before he became a woman. He looks like Bruce. He looks like Bruce Jenner.
I am crying.
And a fat version, not a skinny version.
I like she ain't with me. It's just on certain topics, she just get too irate. It's crazy. And then her little her and Mickey's situation is annoying as fuck.
Her and Mickey, that's one of
Oh
the
my God, I was the night that I was there when they were banging.
So fucking annoying.
I get dragged into that shit because of Mickey a lot. Because Mickey.
Her and Mickey was banging, and then her and Jen was banging.
Oh, and Jen, first of all, I don't like Jen. Let's be very clear about that. Okay, I don't like
I'm not surprised at that at all, Brooklyn.
I don't like her because I don't know why the fuck she be thinking that. First of all, she inserts herself in black people's business all the time, and then she want to go in and out of being black. Like one minute her daddy black, the next minute she was in the room talking about her daddy black. She part black and Creole because Mickey was on the stage and Mickey was standing up for her. I said, this, if y'all don't see the acting in this lame ass Puerto Rican bitch, no offense, Mel, but I don't like her. In real life, I don't. Like, I don't know if it's because the Chicago Puerto Ricans are different, but I
just don't like people that flip flop.
She is a flip flopper, and oh my God! And this
it's like you can't claim black and then you want to be making rules about black women trashing black women.
Exactly, my point.
I don't like it.
And then all of a sudden you want to put a Puerto Rican flag and like, oh, you Puerto Rican now?
People flip flop on everything on this app, from their stances to their heritage. They flip flop on this app a lot.
I think
I don't even know how that shit works. I can't be fake. I wish that I had the ability to be fake. I can't do it. It's like my rhetoric has not changed since I got on this bitch. My name ain't changed or nothing. I'm the same person all the way around.
Hey, Brooklyn, I'm on the same type of timing as you. I'm gonna be anti-Diddy in any room. And if I'm gonna be lame for that, then fuck you too. I don't give a fuck. Like shit.
Right.
Switching up because you like Diddy, like because you're a pro. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I just don't feel like people should be villainized for however they feel. Cause I'm not for or against Diddy. Like I'm literally in the middle.
Hey, Brooklyn, I said it yesterday in the room. I'm still fuck Diddy. It's still fuck Diddy. Ain't shit changed.
I'm gonna still fuck with the music. I really don't care what nobody says.
When the last time you played the Diddy song our way? Y'all listening, Brooklyn. When's the last time you played it? Yesterday?
Yeah.
Because
I'm crying, Brooklyn. Did you play Ain't Nobody Gonna Hold Me Down? Ain't Nobody Gonna.
Yep, I played that, and I played fucking the one with him and R. Kelly, and people gonna be mad at me about that, but hey.
Are you doubling up on the pedals? Okay.
I like music, like, what the fuck I'm supposed
Now
to do?
you paying tribute to him and R. Kelly.
I'm not paying tribute.
Like, I'm gonna see how many people.
I'm not paying tribute to nothing, but I'm gonna tell you this. When R. Kelly, first, I don't fuck with R. Kelly neither. But because I am a step in the name of love stand, people attack me. Listen, that and happy people make me happy. I can't help it. I'm just gonna listen to the music and ignore all of the politics. That's what I do. But
yeah, but those two songs you just mentioned, that's more of the innocent music that he has.
Those are my songs, my favorite too, and I Believe I Could Fly.
You see, I could listen to those three right there, but once you start going into other stuff, I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I don't listen to most of these.
I wanna ride. Skates or whatever, space past you, and then you also see this
maintaining the success?
Dollars on it, making money. Cause I never want to be broke. I never want to be broke. Yeah. Very strong opinion, remember.
I think, Shuki, that she is 95% naive, 99% naive.
You know
That's
what?
how I
Most
see,
of
I
the
see her.
lefties are.
You know
No,
what?
not true. Wait a second, Shuki. Not true, Chava. Majority of the lefties are doing it in order to maintain their identity, their culture, their money. They would go, the first people to go out of Israel to run away, they'll be the first people to skip about IDF will be them. It's the last thing is the naivety. I think that she is among the people who are naivety. They would burn the country. They would put my life in danger. The lefty pilots have blood of Israelis on their hands, blood of Jake on their hands. It's not a joke. We don't know what happened exactly, but they declared for months, for a year almost, that we are second from, that we are out of order, out of play, out of game, whatever they said.
And they didn't show up in the 7th of October.
We don't know exactly how they didn't show up, the exact thing, but they kind of didn't show up.
Oh, we know exactly how they did show up.
No, but you don't have time. You don't know exactly. You don't know what happened.
Oh, I know exactly what happened.
Shuki, you don't have the details. You know 6:30 where they were sitting, who told whom, what. You don't know exactly.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know.
There is perfect information, and I put it in the chat. In our group, I put it. You're more than welcome to go and look for it.
We know the outcome. The outcome that out of one maybe helicopter or maybe I don't know.
Even that helicopter wasn't an attack helicopter. It was a passenger helicopter.
Okay. For 6 hours, if I'm not wrong, for 6 hours, no aircraft was in the sky to defend those young Nova.
No, it's 8 hours. It's 8 hours. It's not 6 hours.
What about the Modi'in? They also didn't show up.
What about the agreement that Bar had with somebody from Hamas? What about that?
Baba, the thing was in the left back then, the day before, month before. If you don't go my way, there's no way. There's no Israel. Either my way or nothing will happen. And we will have no court, no army, no this, no that, nothing. We'll make a revolution.
Listen, I still don't understand October 7th.
You
I
can't.
Never understand it. What happened that day? What exactly went wrong? We will probably never fully understand or know.
No, this is not true. No. We understand. We fully understand. It was a prison, Paraknelan. It was a breach of contract between the state of Israel and the citizens of Israel. We fully understand. You want to sugarcoat it? Go for it. That's yours. We don't have that. That's the difference between a lefty motherfucker and a strongly patriot Israeli.
You know Victor Kalani, Chapa?
Who?
Kalani.
Sounds familiar, but I'm not.
He's a hero from 73.
That was
What's
the
his name?
biggest hero.
Victor Kahalani.
No, he said he today people treat him like you know, like the highest level of.
Oh yeah, I've seen documentaries with him.
Yeah, he won like with no tanks or with 9 tanks, 5 tanks. He destroyed 150 tanks, something crazy. He said like this: when I quit the army, I had an agreement with you, the people of Israel, that you now doing your job, and after you quit,
because I did my job.
Yeah, when you were little kids, I was sacrificing my life for you and
Right.
for your parents and for your grandparents, and you broke this
Governance.
Let me ask you something. So, obviously the Shabak is separate from the Mossad, and the Mossad is very close with Bibi and all the operations in Iran.
No. Shabak is like FBI in America. Mossad is like CIA in America. Shabak working inside the borders and Mossad working outside. Both of them are
But the thing is, people that don't understand that, they say, oh, why is Mossad able to do this in Iran and Lebanon and here and there, but they let October 7th happen? Because they don't understand that that's...
October 7 is not related to Mossad.
Correct. It's
Exactly.
the Shabak that was more responsible.
Mossad doesn't work on the Israeli borders.
Exactly.
Not in Syria, not in Lebanon, not
right.
Gaza,
But my
whatever.
question
They
is...
work on it's called the third place, like Europe.
I know, but people are stupid. They don't understand. They're like, oh, Mossad is able to do this, but not this.
No, it's not linked to Mossad. No one talks for good and bad in referring Mossad when it comes to 7.
I'm telling you, I hear it all the time.
No, I mean people who understand, what the responsibility, like they have no connection.
Right. My question though is, from my understanding, like this is, I have no idea, but from my understanding, the Mossad is very close with Bibi, but with the Shabak, they apparently don't like him. And so they maybe didn't do much or enough to prevent...
I want to tell you something.
No, that's not that.
No,
it's not that.
Partly right, and I tell you...
No, it's not. You know why? Shabak does not need to report to the Attorney General. And Shabak does. Because Shabak is what happened in Israel. So, as long as the court and the Attorney General is against Bibi, that's why it's not close. That's why they hate. So they're playing like the door cards.
Yeah, but there's another, Shuki, there's I think one more reason that is even more core. The Shabak has, in a way, 2 definitions. One is we know against the, do whatever it needs against the enemy, blah, blah, blah. And the second is defend Israel from its own people and defend the democracy and so on and so on. Now, this position, we call it, how do you say, Shomer Saf?
Door guard, safeguard, door guard. But you have a mistake over here.
What?
You have a very fundamental mistake.
Okay.
Because the Shabak is literally underneath the thumbs of the Prime Minister. Because the Prime Minister is the elected official.
Yeah, if it's a Prime Minister from the left.
So what you're saying now, leave an open door to protect Israel against its own government, which is completely wrong. That's against democracy.
No, but wait a second. Let's say now in a different world, we are electing Azmi Bishara as our Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And he declares no democracy, Israel is an Arab state. Who is the person?
Too bad for you, you elected.
Yeah.
So he's responsible for the Shabak, and the Shabak cannot do nothing. Shabak, check the law. Shabak cannot go against the government. Hold on, I have a phone call.
I'm not sure about it, but I'll check it.
anyway, זה לא שיחה לפה, עכשיו יש לנו כל מיני אנשים פה, עדיף לא לדבר על שטויות האלה פה.
כן.
So let's go back to sex.
Hebrew only.
נכון, רק עברית.
רק סקס, כן.
בדיוק.
מין. התניית אהבים.
חנה, ראית תמונות?
לא, עכשיו אני אראה. איזה תמונות? התחלנו. אימא'לה, למה? אז אני ממש לא נראית ככה. זאת לא עונבת, זאת חתונה. אוקיי.
כן, תיקנתי.
תמונות יותר יפה מאור מהמרפסת.
אמרתי לה, אבל לא כזה יפה כמו שעשתה עכשיו, מושבה גרמנית.
למה זה בית לחם, אחי? זה גם בית לחם.
לא, זה נראה כמו חצי עירת תיקח, חצי מושבה גרמנית.
מה עם זה?
אפשר תמונה בחוף הים.
לא, אני רציתי בקטע רומנטי עם חנה. אפשר?
מי את?
את וחנה. מי?
רק אם היא מאפשרת.
אלק, ראיתי באינסטגרם. איפה יש לי באינסטגרם הגודל שלה?
כן, נראה לך הכל.
כן, הייתי בהלם, אמרתי לו, צניעות חבר, השאלה אם בכלל לא רוצה שאני אגיע לציציתי, אבל זה לא אפשרי, כי ניסיתי לעשות להציג פתמות וזה לא נתן.
לי, את יכולה רק לעשות רומנטיק של חנה ואצ'יק?
היא מאשרת לי.
חנה, תאשרי לה.
תעשי מה שתעשה.
לא, זה לא מה שאני רוצה, אני רוצה הרבה דברים, אבל לפעמים זה יכול לפגוע.
מה לפגוע? במי זה יפגע?
אני מבינה את עצמי. אם יש אישור אני מאשרת.
יש אישור. הבורא. פרי הגפן.
טוב, אבל תן לי מיקום.
אבל בחייאת שהתמונה הזאת לא תלך לכל מיני מטומטמים, שאחרי זה גם יגידו שזה אמיתי.
אז אמנון, בחייאת.
חנה, זה נראה הכי AI שיש.
זה לא משנה, אתה לא מפיץ את זה נקודה.
כן, אבל האנשים פה משוגעים, מה אכפת AI לא AI.
אנחנו ספורים אחד על השני, אנחנו לא תוקעים סכינים אחד לשני.
לא...
מה קרה? היא ברחה? היא לא יכולה לאכול את האמת?
לא, כי אמרנו רק עברית.
אוקיי.
רוצה לדבר פרסית באיראן.
אקורו ברום צ'יקידום.
טוב.
מה הדבר?
איפה נמצא
אותך? ככה, אצ'יק, רומנטי, זר פרחים, מציע נישואים לחנה.
אוקיי.
חס ושלום. חס ושלום.
יאללה, בוא נחכה איזה 2 דקות ונשלח לכם בקבוצה, אני כבר חוזרת.
אור, טל און, אור, טל.
לא הבנתי כמה את מסריחה שאת כל שניה הולכת להתקלח.
אני הולכת למולדת.
היא בחודשית שלה, דודה בלה באה לבקר אצלה.
חיים, דודה בלה מתה. לא דודה בלה, סבתא בלה, השם ישמור.
אף פעם לא קראו לזה סבתא, תמיד דודה.
אבל זה היא מתה.
מה נאכל הבוקר? איזה בוקר? כבר בצהריים.
מאור, מה קורה, מאור?
בסדר, מה נשמע? בדיוק בדיוק הייתי באמצע החנק. מה קורה?
איך הכותרת?
אני לא יודע, אתה מנסה למשוך אותם, אבל זה לא כותרות שמושכות אותם. אתה צריך להביא משהו שהם רוצים לראות, שטוב להם, ואז כשהם פה לתקוף אותם. אתה מבין? אתה לא עושה נכון שאתה כותב בכותרת משהו כזה, לא עד כדי כך מטומטמים.
תרשום ניוט פיקצ'ר של הניו יורק.
רגע, מי כרגע המועמד הרפובליקאי לנשיאות הבא לדעתכם?
כרגע אין.
הדמוקרטי. Jews.
גם כן אין. אבל אתה יודע מה אתה יכול לעשות? תעשה Lefty American Jews turning right.
Lefty American Jews.
You might as well just ping Norman.
נו, ראיתם את התוצאה?
תוצאה של מה?
של הצ'אט.
שיגעת את רבי, אני נוהג, את חושבת שאני יכול לעקוב אחרי
חבל, אתה מפסיד איזה תמונות.
אני לא מפסיד, מאמי, אני מרוויח $125 לשעה.
חנה, סיפרו לך מה עשינו היום?
לא, ספרי.
אני רציתי לשלוח לך הודעה. כרגיל. כאילו, אחרי כל ההודעות ששלחת, אז לא אמר...
אבל את שלחת לי הודעה.
מה?
את שלחת לי הודעות.
כן.
לא, אבל בגלל שהיא מתביישת כבר לשלוח בשמה, אז היא אומרת שוקי שואל. היא דוחפת את שוקי מתחת
ממתי את מתביישת?
לא, לא מתביישת, אמרתי שזה לא יראה אובססיבי, ואז מה אמר? נראה לך שלא יודעת שאת אובססיבית אליהם? ככה. ואז כבר התחלנו את זה.
נו. מה התחלת?
את הקומה בעבודה.
מה הקומה שלי?
את בקומה שנייה.
לא מצאנו את זה. איך אתה יודע?
אני הכל יודע.
ידעת את זה כל הזמן הזה ולא אמרת? סתם חיפשנו?
נכון.
אבל פעם הבאה שאת מחפשת משהו, תשלחי גם איזה משהו יפה, טעים, אני יודעת מה.
מה זאת אומרת?
לא יודעת, איזה משלוח מעניין.
נו כן, אמרתי להם, אני רוצה להזמין לה משהו, או שנעשה לה כזה
מארז...
נעלה רחפן.
מארז שוקולדי.
רציתי להגיד משהו אחר והמבין יבין.
מארז צעצועי מין.
אני מדבר יש לי.
עתיד דודלה, למה היא צריכה להשתמש במשומד? מלכה כמוה צריכה משומד? תקני לה חדש שהרומניה קפצנית.
נו, מה נסגר הסיפור? זה מה שרצית להגיד עכשיו?
כן, וחיפשתי בגוגל מפס, אבל לא מצאתי את הבניין.
זה בן שטח 4.
כן, כן, אני יודעת. מצאנו את זה גם.
אז אפשר מאמין.
ונתתי לה את כל הפרטים, שאת במחלקת תביעות מינויים, שאת בביטוח לאומי, הכל ולא מטה.
חיפשתי את זה, אבל למה אני...
היא ומאור.
אבל תקשיב, פונים אליהם, צריכים להעביר להם טופס, לא מגיעים אליהם ידנית. אז גם רשום קומה, לאיזה קומה צריך להגיע. רשום.
מה קשור? הם לא נמצאים בבית סוהר. לא אפשר להגיע לשם.
ברור, אבל לא לקוחות, לא אנשים.
את לא צריכה להגיד שאת לקוחה, תגידי, את בת משפחה.
מה את אומרת?
אתם סוגרים באחד, לא נכון. אני קשה אחר כך.
אחד זה קבלת קהל למטה, זה לא קשור אליי.
ואמרתי להם שאצלך אין קבלת קהל.
חנה,
מה?
מבינה בקניות?
אני לא שומעת אותך.
את מבינה בקניות?
מה?
מדהים.
מה אתה רוצה?
תודה.
לא שומעת, ברמודה?
כן.
יש בכל מקום עכשיו. אבל המכנסיים...
טובים שלא נקראים.
איך אני יודעת? לך לזרה, תמיד יש להם. אני מבינה בקניות של נשים, אני פחות מסתכלת על מה הולך אצל הגברים.
את לא קונה לבן שלך?
הוא בילד.
הוא בן 10.
נו?
אם עדיין.
אני בגיל עד גיל 18 יש לי קטן.
יש לך כל הילדים? בסדר, אבל הוא ילד בן 10, אני בילדים, אין שם מידות שלך.
הבן שלך לא כזה ילד. הוא כבר לא ילד.
אבל המידות שם הן לא המידות שלך, אלא אם כן אתה, לא יודעת מה, קטנצ'יק.
לא, אני לא. אני גדולצ'יק.
גדולצ'יק, זה טוב.
האמת שאתה קטן יחסית.
יחסית כן.
אני גם אומרת לך.
תחליטו.
לא, הוא נמוך.
אז לך לזרה קידס.
איזה קידס? מה בדיוק?
אפילו לא זרה קידס, זה צ'ילדרן פלייס. סתם אמרנו, זה בצחוק, כל אחד בעבור השלום.
איך לבייבי סטאר? זה הכי טוב. זה ניובורן.
ומה אתה צריך פתאום מכנסי ברמודה?
נקראו לי 2 לאחרונה. בקסטרו, כוסימה שלהם.
מה אתה קונה קסטרו? זה האיכות הכי זבל.
הוא אמר לי אתמול, קסטרו זה זבל, אל תקנה את הקסטרו.
תקנה בשוק, זה פה עדיף.
באתי לכך?
קסטרו זה made in Gaza. מי קונה קסטרו? אתה רוצה פרנסה למחבלים?
רגע,
זה תקוע הוא היה.
כאילו פולנברג זה מגיע לאוהבי ישראל, לקבוצת בתולות יפן למען ישראל.
פולנברג זה קבוצת...
מישהו יכול בבקשה קצת להזמין אנשים? לי, תעשי עבודה.
עוד לא הייתה לי
מה?
זה 5 דקות.
מה קשור? תזמין אנשים, אני אומר.
אני מדבר איתך.
אור, תעלי קצת, אור, טל, אור.
אמא שלי הקטן. לא באנגלית, לא בתורה טובה. אבל בעברית, זה בחייאת.
רק עברית. אור, תעלי, we love you, אור, we love you.
מה זה עברית?
וכמה אח שלך לי?
וואו, 700 פעם שאלת אותה.
נכון.
אתה לא יכול להביא אנשים 40. זה המדע שלי בכלל.
הוא ילד טוב? לי?
הוא ילד טוב, לי ילדה לא טובה.
יש לו כיבוד אחות ואח?
מה אתה אומר?
הוא מכבד את אחותו?
Hi, Igor. How are you? תעל.
אבל אני באה לענות, למה אתה פתאום מדבר?
סליחה.
Hi, Igor. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm from India. Where are you from?
I'm also from India.
Namaste.
Namaste.
How are you?
बस इतना ही है आगे
Lingam.
Where are you from?
I'm from Bombay, Dharamsala.
Dharamsala?
Little, yes. Where are you
Dharamshala is
from,
in
my
Himachal
friend?
Pradesh.
Where are you
Himachal
from?
Pradesh.
I
I'm
don't know.
from
I am
Delhi.
afraid speaking here because they don't like me speak Hindu. They like only Hebrew. They speak. They are Jewish. You know Jewish.
Yeah, I know.
You like?
Of course.
Yes, the Jewish.
Ibo, are you for Palestine?
I am pro-Israel.
He's from India.
It's not because of that actually. I'm supporting Israel for the last 3 decades. It's not just started from October 7 actually. Because
Ibo,
I know.
let's sing Shuki a song. You know Ichikidana?
I'm sorry?
You know the song Ichikidana?
Hinana?
Ichikidana, bichikidana, rangachangana, chikidana, bichi. Ichikidana, bichi.
I don't know what you're singing.
You fool me, you're not from India.
I'm from India actually.
I'm from India. Why you say from India if you don't know
I
the
can
song?
speak at least Indian 4 languages I can speak.
I
can
speak
speak
3
Tamil, I can
languages.
speak Malayalam, I can speak
Tamil.
Tamil
Punjabi.
பேசுங்க.
Are you sick?
I'm not sick.
I'm sick, very sick, very, very sick today. Very. Are you sick?
I'm not sick.
I'm sick. Are you sick?
No, I'm not sick.
I'm sick, but you sick?
Smash.
Look. Let's sing a song. You know the song? Chori, hinga, chingang, hang and pray.
You're actually, the lyrics, what you're just saying, it is not correct actually.
Yeah, because I am not very good with lyrics. I'm only good with the music. I like No, but can you please complete me with the words? Be
No,
more
but
nice.
I'm still not clear which song you're singing because it is not.
Chori, single, hanger and play. This one.
Chori. I don't know. I couldn't.
Chori, singen, hanger and play.
You're really sick.
I'm very sick. Are you sick?
I'm not sick.
I'm sick. Are you sick?
I'm not.
I'm Punjabi sick. And what are you sick?
I'm not Punjabi sick.
So what you are?
I am from southern part of India, the place called Kerala.
Kala, are you from? Are you? I know you from Cochin.
Yeah, I know Cochin. I'm nearby Cochin.
You speak Portuguese?
I don't speak Portuguese. I speak Malayalam.
Malayalam. Oh, I know a little Malayalam. Little, yes.
Say some little.
But I forget. No. I know, you know, Lingam.
Actually, the Jewish people used to stay there 30 years before. Not 30,
Fuck
20.
the Jewish. Wait a second. You know Lingam?
Lingam what?
Lingam Yoni.
Oh, come on. This is not the place to speak about all that stuff.
Why? They don't know. It's only me and you. They don't know I talk shit on them.
You're really sick, actually.
Yes, little sick. Yeah. Are you sick?
I'm not sick.
I'm sick.
You are
you
sick.
sick? Are you sick?
You are sick.
I'm not sick. A little sick. But are you sick?
No.
Little sick?
Not at all.
Fuck. Are you black?
No, I'm red.
Kala, very black. Like a...
No, I'm not kala. I am very
black.
red.
You are a nigger.
I'm a red Indian.
Ah, Sexy. I look Chinese. Chinese house. Chinese. My eyes Chinese. Hello?
שיגעת את רב או שיגעת?
איזה מטומטמים.
I'm from Dharamsala. You know Dharamsala?
Yes, Dalai Lama is there actually.
Yes.
The India has given an asylum over there actually.
Yes. Good.
Yesterday was his birthday, Dalai Lama's, right?
Yes, I like Dalai Lama. Very, very good person. Very, very good.
Nothing. I don't believe all this kind of people.
Why not?
Internal monologue has nothing to do with my friend superhero. You was a MAGA. You a MAGA.
No, I wouldn't identify as a MAGA, but I'm not. I mean, what? How would you identify?
I'm asking you. I didn't.
I said no. I'm not a MAGA. I'm not a MAGA.
Would you agree? Would you agree, my friend, that the party in charge now is not really the Republicans, it's not the Democrats. The MAGA party has risen to power, and it is led by Mr. Trump. He has become the face of MAGA, right? I believe that in his first year of office, we watched the radicalization of the
I'm going to restart the slide back.
president, right? I believe that
I think this is largely true.
Right, oh, thank you. So that's what I'm saying. So they... Okay.
So the reason why I would like to blame the U.S. as well as Israel is like after the go ahead.
Well, let me just give Robert my quick response. I think, Robert, you're largely correct that the face of the Republican Party has changed, and a lot of the prominent Republicans today have more MAGA ideology than what we would consider traditional Republican ideology, like the way the party looked in the 90s or the early 2000s. That's when I was coming up. So yes, I think that's true. But I think you could say the same thing about the Democrat Party, that the face of the modern Democrats is very different from the way it looked in the 90s. And the only difference is the Democrats don't have a name such as MAGA that is very catchy.
Oh, so you are MAGA.
Right.
I don't even think they've changed as much. I think they're more apologetic for policies that were put in place because a lot of our own black leaders or some of our own minority leaders wanted certain policies, and they're more apologetic for these policies, and they're trying to come with smarter policies. But the problem is a lot of people in the U.S. now aren't as educated when it comes to some of these policies that they try to pass. And the problem with them not being educated on some of these policies that they're trying to pass with the new Republican Party trying to fucking block them, fucking Democrats aren't vocal about it. And they're not honest about saying, hey, like, I'm going to be honest with you, because Biden is a white male, he's not going to, only thing he can do is say, I'm sorry for passing this bill, right? When the reality is, a bunch of our own leaders wanted those bills passed because we never seen crack before. And we never seen the destruction of our community behind crack. So they went to this white man and told him, like, do something about it, do something about the violence in our communities, do something about this, that, and other. And if you look at the caucus back then, they were on board with this shit. They wanted this.
That's
right?
correct.
But instead, as a white man, he's fucking apologizing when he should have said, yo, y'all wanted this shit, stop playing. But I'm gonna apologize for playing my part.
That is correct. So
that's why when people make a big deal about the 94 crime bill, I wonder, like, I remember my grandmother, I was 9 or 8 or 9, and I remember my grandmother just, like, sitting and worried because the neighborhood in which our house was in was being overthrown by crackheads and drug dealers, and there was shootouts and all kinds of crazy shit going on. Like, the people who voted for it, they wanted it. That's why I don't even, when they were talking about the 94 crime bill, I'm saying to myself, why are y'all making a big deal about something that the people of that time, black people, wanted?
So I've done some study on this, right? I did a deep dive on it. And first of all, let's be clear. It was the largest crime bill in United States history, right? It came at a time where the politics of the country was, in order for anybody to get elected to office, Democrat or Republican, you had to demonstrate